I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV Velocities and Music. Today, to do a request for... This is Mouse? Or this is Aaron?
This is Mouse.
Mouse? Okay, for Mouse, who hopefully can request some more albums and be on our show sometime. The Low Anthem, Oh My God, Charlie Darwin from 2009. We missed this one on 2009.
Oh, really? I thought... Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was 2010,
yeah,
but yeah, you're right.
A 2009 release. Unfortunately, we missed it. I'd love... but we'll include it in our 2009 list from now on. But this is a very folk Americana album, and if you know anything about this guy, he likes the Americana folky genre. And I know you like it too, even though you're more of a metalhead.
Yeah. But
this is my thing. I love it. And I really like this album. It really reminded me of a review we did earlier this year, the Abbott Brothers, because I think there's two vocalists, and we may be wrong on this. Correct us if we're wrong on our website. But it might just be one guy who's just changing the way his voice sounds, but there's a lot of more there's a harsher vocalist who's a little bit louder and does some of the more upbeat tracks, and then there's a very soft-spoken vocalist who does much of the quieter, more ballady, sentimental tracks. And the beauty of this album is how they line that up. And the lyrics of this album are just wonderful. Wonderful, relatable, story-like, folk-esque
and they capture the mood and bring you back to the time when this sound was originally coming out.
Absolutely.
The lyrics do. So.
And not only that, but something that actually bothered me, but overall I think is probably done on purpose, that most people will probably like. It'll bother me a little bit just because I'm so partial to M. Ward and his way of doing things. But the way that everything's produced, it sounds like, you know this... Instead of like stereo speakers, it sounds like it's all coming out of like one speaker. Not a lot of very in-depth production there. It sounds like it's kind of coming out of a tin can sometimes to me. And I just felt like that was a little limiting to the sound. I really like a warmer sound. I felt it kind of took away from the music at times. For me, that's a personal opinion though. But yeah, like I said, I also love the variety of instruments.
Oh yeah,
organ stuff. You know, this is pretty much just guitar,
music box, track 8.
Right, good call. But there's a clarinet player. This is a trio. I think like 2 guys and a chick, and they're all multi-instrumentalists. They'll do everything, which I think is awesome. I love it when bands do that.
Like Manama.
Yeah. Yeah. But the folk version.
Yeah.
Clarinet, woodwinds, there's horns in this. I mean, I love that variety of instruments. I think that adds a great load of diversity to any kind of genre, band, sound, album, you name it. But I think these guys do a great job of that. What do you think?
I really liked it. A lot of the stuff you said, I completely agree with. I liked the production. I can understand if you wouldn't. I think it is part of the sound. I think it worked well for them. I think, once again, this album has a lot of really good high points. There are also just some tracks that are clearly better than others. I think that there are some tracks, not really any bad ones, necessarily, but just some that feel a little like filler. Which brings it down a little bit, but at the same time, even the tracks that are more filler, it's not even that they're bad, they just don't live up to some of the really quality ones. If this album was really consistent in that way, then I'd like it a lot more. But I still really enjoyed it. I especially liked that they ended it with the reprise of... Or is it reprise? I never know how to pronounce that word, to be honest. Reprise, whatever.
Right, well, we get away with what we want.
Yeah, whatever. We say what we want. Of track 2, To Ohio, and I like it because it's not just rehashing that track. They really approach it differently, they produce it differently, and it brings an entirely different mood. And I like that because they're able to tie the album together with it without just repeating themselves.
Yeah, and not only that, the track before, which is quite short, OMG CD, Oh My God, Charlie Darwin, references back to the first song, Charlie Darwin, and the album title. And those two songs work together to just make this really efficient close to the album.
Yeah,
I really love the way they did it. Shows a lot of tact. I really think that this could have been developed a little further, and maybe put some more conceptuality behind it, and this would just be awesome.
Yeah.
And so just tons of potential. I commented that these songs sound very dusty.
Yeah.
But I would love to keep watching these guys and see where they go. It's pretty cool.
Mouse, I understand why you love this, because I totally get a huge Bob Dylan and a huge Tom Waits vibe out of this. And that's great. And it's great because, to tell you the truth, you get the variety from both those sounds. Because, you know, Tom Waits and Bob Dylan, you could consider them both folk, but they're very opposite ends of the folk spectrum.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this album very engaging to listen to is you get those low Bob Dylan points and those high, fiery Tom Waits points, and
they're able to incorporate that sound into one cohesive piece, which is nice. Yep. My favorite tracks were track 3, Ticket Taker. I loved it. That's one of the most mellow tracks on this album, and I love the lyrics. They just blew me away. Track 7, again, another more mellow track, Don't Tremble. We used train sounds, very Dylan. And then track 9, another Dylan song, Champion Angel. Very fun.
For me, it's tracks 2 through 4.
Nice.
To Ohio, Ticket Taker, and The Horizon is a Beltway. I think those 3 songs really sum up in a row what a lot of this album is about, and it's a great song.
And good call in you picking that in the band putting those together right in a row, because it really does. They build on each other. I like this album overall. A few weaker points. I would probably prefer Anything M. Ward's released better. And even more so something like Clem Snyder, Nico Case, a little bit more than this. I'm going to go in 71.
I'm going to go 79.
Nice. Nice. But let us know what you think. How does the Low Anthem fit for you folk experts out there and Americana experts? Does this fit in the compare and contrast between the other bands in this genre? Because there's a lot of really cool underground folk going on right now that I'm loving, and love to watch these bands grow because they're always super ambitious. But tell us at www.velocitiesmusic.com. That wraps up the Low Anthems. Oh my God, Charlie Darwin. And like I said, more folk, the better folks. So thanks, Mouse, for the request. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.